Hi, welcome back to this session of interviews to the authors of the book The Mind of the World Philosophy Today. Nevertheless, this is a special interview because I am right now with Dato Raman, Vice Chancellor of the Quest International University. Dato, thank you for being here with us. I'm really excited about this opportunity. And I realize this is the Quest International University, but why is it international?
The reason is because we have students coming from different countries, and so we facilitate education for these students.
I have an interesting question I have been thinking since a lot of time, because I realized that universities have plenty of detractors saying that graduates don't have the necessary skills to just finish their scholarship and find a job.
Yeah.
Because most of these learnings they had, it is maybe outdated.
Yes.
So I believe universities that at least two problems. The first one is the lack of updated information for their students, and of course the second one is the inability of the university to solve this problem. So this is a kind of things that we don't want to see, like the universities forming or educating new generations to adapt new technologies, but universities lacking of these capabilities. So what do you think about this?
Yeah, that's a fact because not all students who graduate in the different courses will get a job that is in keeping with the training in the university. So we want the students right from the beginning, right from the time they come for orientation, that they are being prepared for the real world outside. So it may not be something which they've actually studied that they are going to apply when they come out as graduates, and they have to adapt to the real life situation outside. So this is a foundation that makes them ready for the real world outside, and I think they have been primed to accept that when they pass out, so that they are adaptable to new situations and take on new challenges. So they know about this. Students, yes, yeah. Not all of them are going to be employees. Some are going to be entrepreneurs also. So they will definitely meet new challenges once they go out. The real world outside is very different from the university life.
But if they know this,
yes,
why should a student or a person will say, okay, I'd rather study in a university instead of trying to be hired with a company that maybe I can start practicing these skills, and I'm going to be updated all the time.
Yes, it's up to them to choose what kind of job they seek, and whether they can sustain whatever they are in. What we do is prepare them to face the challenges, and it's going to be quite different. Each person will have something different exposed to them. So that's what we tell them, and we prepare them for that.
I've seen your website and the About Us section. I realized that the concept research is the main concept in your mission statement.
Yes.
So apparently for me, it seems that innovation is out of this scope, just research. But research is just one part for innovation, and that's what we are talking about right now. The innovation we need as universities, to promote changes, to help students adapt real world. But why I can see innovation in the mission and value of the university?
It's part of the program. Research is there as part of overall university education. It is not just research that we are doing here. We say that our vision is that this is a research-led university, but our primary motive is actually to make this a center of higher learning that provides education of high standard without compromise to standards. And our philosophy is also that all students must succeed, because this is a private university and parents spend money to educate their children, and so each of them would like to see the children succeed in the studies. So we make a very special effort to see that the progress of the students are monitored. Those who are doing well will do well, but there are some who really struggle, and so we follow these students who find difficulties in studies and pay special attention to them, so that all of them eventually pass, again without compromising the standards. Yes, yes.
Of course.
So that way I think we are fulfilling our responsibility to the parents, because they are spending money. This is a private university. So and I think that's a very wise philosophy to adopt, to see that every child succeeds eventually studying here at this university.
Because you put that in the curriculum,
Yes.
but it is like a choice the student may have, or is a method you have for the
This
education?
is a method, because the choice of courses is entirely up to them, what course they want to study.
course.
But we want to see that they succeed in whatever they choose. We have mentors and we follow the progress and see that they all succeed.
Yeah. When you say succeed, is about research, about innovation?
No, studies. Generally, they graduate.
Generally,
Yeah, they graduate.
when
yes.
they graduate.
Yes.
That is this. When they succeed, because they
Yes.
graduate.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Innovative people, they shape the world.
Mhm.
They don't expect to be a consequence of things. And I believe universities have the most important role, because they form the new generations
Mhm.
that will shape the world.
Yes.
So as a university, I think that the most important task you do is trying to forecast new changes,
Mhm.
new challenges,
Mhm.
new revolutions, we could
Yes.
say,
Yes.
in all the fields,
Yes.
education, technology, and so on. So I am about eager to study the new changes that they're about to occur worldwide in all the fields, and
Mhm.
part of many of them
Mm.
with, at least for example, blockchain technology,
Mhm.
education, new method
Mhm.
of studies.
Mm.
So how do you as a university try to understand these new challenges, these new changes, and to share this with your students, to prepare them for the future and to help them to shape the future?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. As I said, we want to provide a high standard of education here. But education is just one aspect. We also pay a lot of attention to character development of the students who study here. So we make them responsible, to be socially active, and to participate in a lot of activities here, so that when they come out, they know that they have to live in society. They don't live in isolation, and that they have to contribute positively to the community. So when they have that kind of attitude, I think they will do a good job when they graduate from here, because that's how they have been tuned during the course here. So I'm sure they will pay attention to what their responsibility is outside in society.
It is easy to see that the world leaders have the highest education, yeah, on their countries, of course. And still, nevertheless, we see a very conflicted world.
Mm-hmm.
Even though this high education they have, they haven't been prepared to integrate humankind.
Yes.
Yeah. So, of course, I understand why is this happening.
Yeah.
Because the current educational system train people
Yes.
based on the scientific method,
Yes.
which is focused on research or developing new knowledge and new
Yes.
technologies.
Yes.
And it's not the role of science to help us understand how to use this technology. This
Yeah.
is the philosophy role.
Yes.
But I understand also that philosophy is dead since a lot of time ago, and since Descartes in the 17th century gave us that gift of the scientific method, from that point, philosophy and science, start to being two different things. Science get into a method, so it is more tidy, and philosophy doesn't. But what if I tell you that World Philosophical Forum have new tools which through a philosophical method can help lead science to create this new knowledge, new technologies, and can help us to be a more integrated humankind?
Yeah, that's a noble aim for philosophy to think that way. But eventually it boils down to the individuals. We have so many different kinds of people. When they graduate and when they go out and they start working and experience real life, so many things can happen in their lives. Politics is one very important aspect, and politicians actually make a lot of difference in the world. And no matter what kind of philosophy they have been exposed to, it's their attitude, it's their beliefs that bring about a lot of changes. So politics is very important, and politicians do really affect the lives of people. So philosophy is good, provided that they adopt it, but not all will, because they have their own attitude and they want to stick to what they believe.
That's the thing. When you ask 200 scientists what science is,
Yes.
they will have a common answer.
Yes.
But if you ask 200 philosophers what philosophy is,
Yes.
they will give you 100 different answers.
Yes.
So that's not the idea. That's what I meant
Yes.
when we have a new philosophical method.
Yes.
Is because as science
Yes.
is getting organized
Yes.
in a method
Right.
to come up with the truth.
Yes.
Because the end of the science
Yes.
to get the truth,
Yes.
which is scientific laws,
Yes.
right?
Right.
But philosophy doesn't have
Yes.
that right now. But what if I tell you that we can now have this opportunity to have a method
Yes.
to come up with the truth, but through a philosophical level?
Yes, but do people actually follow philosophical ideas? It's there, they may accept it, but there are other things on the agenda which drives them forward. So philosophy, yes, is good. They may feel that it is very good to have this kind of thoughts and ideas, but there are other things that actually drives them forward, and that's what brings about all the events in the world and such things. Yes, there's no doubt about it. It can make a dent in the real world. Philosophy is definitely good, so that at least they're exposed to it. But that's not all. Philosophy alone will not make the change.
I just asked you earlier about a philosophical method that can be used in education to form, students, no matter the career, because philosophy can guide science when developing knowledge and technology. Because as I told you, it's not a task of science to tell us how to use knowledge or science or technology, but of philosophy. Philosophy is the one that can guide us, lead us how to use this. So, but you said something really interesting. You said that philosophy is optional. So, in this context, there is something really important that I think every practitioner should have, which is the professional ethic. So, if you say philosophy is optional, maybe you are saying that ethic is optional. So, that's my confusion.
No, I don't think I meant philosophy is optional. And ethics is something that is coming from within. So it's up to the individual actually whether he wants to be ethical or not. and there can be circumstances where people do not behave ethically. It may be due to circumstances or various causes. But ideally, why should there be an option for philosophy? The basic tenet is that philosophy is this, ethics should be part of it, and that's what everybody should possess. But circumstances vary, and that's when people change. So it is not that it's an optional thing. They choose to be such and such in a situation. So ethics does go with philosophy. It's part of it. And if they really want to practice philosophy truly, ethics should be part of it.
Of course. In this globalized world, we need to have the trust universalism and knowledge at a higher level.
Yeah.
So someone that is starting to be an engineer needs to understand also about maybe software or technology, because nowadays it is impossible to only be focused on one type of knowledge. So of course philosophy should be in all the education curricula, because it is important to develop ethics and how to use the knowledge we develop as a practitioner or a professional. So, well, that is really interesting point of view for me, and I really appreciate your participation here with us. I continue inviting you all to see all the sessions of the interviews we are doing to the authors of the book The Mind of the World Philosophy Day, even though Dato is not one of the authors, but it is a special guest we have. And keep in touch with all the activities the Malaysian branch of the World Philosophical Day or the World Philosophical Forum is have scheduled for us during this month. Thank you, Dato, to be here with us.
Thank you so much.